with a record of 17 wins, no losses, 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Known as the greatest woman of all time, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 5-division world champion, the 4-division undisputed world champion, and the current undefeated, reigning and defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Claressa Shields! Once again, the referee in charge of this bout, Sparkle Lee, now to give instructions.
You ready to receive my instruction? Obey my commands. Protect yourself all the time. Let's have a clean fight here, ladies. Good luck. Ready?
10 years ago, these two women fought, and afterward, they became good friends, even business partners in a sense. All that changed when this fight was announced, and it really changed on Saturday. The two sides got in that nasty brawl at the weigh-in. Now, Franchon Crews-Dezurn is out to prove that she is the top heavyweight in women's boxing. So Claressa Shields is to remind people that she's the best women's fighter in the world. Undisputed heavyweight champion versus the unified super middleweight champion. It doesn't get much bigger than this, and this looks an awful lot like the first fight. They are going at it immediately. I didn't even have time to tell people that Michaela Mayer has joined us in the commentary booth.
Ooh, these women are going for it. Big overhand rights by both at the same time.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about! That's what I'm talking about! Let's go! Let's go!
Apologies for the technical difficulties with Michaela's microphone.
Yeah! That's a fight right there! That's a fight right there!
Applying pressure here in the early going. Michaela, I hate to make you do that all over again, but now you have to work too much.
Did we fix it? Okay, there we go. But what I was saying, no, I knew because of the build-up and because of what went down at weigh-in, that if anything, we were going to get a really exciting first round. And I hope it keeps up. I like that Franchon came right up to the center of the ring, pushed Claressa up against the rope. Can't you do that for all 10 rounds?
Oh! Unloading right hands in both directions right now. But if you pay attention, different than the first fight, Claressa is really picking her spots. She's much more precise than she was in that fight 10 years ago.
That big right hand from Claressa Shields coming right over the top. A second ago, you saw Franchon roll it out. That was the adjustment I wanted to see her make. She can't continue to take Claressa's right hand. She got to continue to roll, get on the angle, come back, or get her head off the line when she meets her with the same shot.
The issue in exchanges is the hand speed. Claressa Shields has much quicker hands.
Big left hook by Shields and a right hand behind it. In what has been a firefight of an opening round.
Big 4-punch combination from Claressa.
Never.
Back live here in Detroit, Michigan, and what an action-packed opening round.
And right at the first bell, Franchon came forward and pinned Claressa against Rosa. Claressa was very smart here. She was staying low, going under, picking her shots very, very smartly, landing the cleaner blows. And there at the end of the round, you saw unloading with both hands. Excellent opening round for both these ladies, especially Claressa.
Franchon's being aggressive, but you have to be careful not to get caught in between the exchange with that left hook. First, been very successful with that left hook right over the top, countering Franchon in the middle of her combinations.
Trying to get left hook to the body as well. And Chris Mannix used the opening round, but when Claressa can kind of reduce a fight to a series of tight races like this, she is very difficult to get the best on, but she backs Crews-Dezurn up.
said it best. Claressa Shields is a very high punch round. She's very fast. 4 girls at this weight class. A lot of the girls in this division can't keep up with that work rate. Franchon will throw 3, and Claressa Shields will come back with 5 or 6 punches.
Yeah, I said at the very top, I don't love the idea of Franchon coming in trying to exchange with Claressa Shields. That's exactly what the 4 rounds of the first fight looked like. Claressa's hand speed is just superior. Her punch output, like you said, is going to be more significant. She's got to fight behind that jab. I don't mind her being physical, pressing Claressa against the ropes, but
well, there's that jab right there that you're talking about. It stops her. It stops Claressa Shields from coming in. And sometimes maybe it's too easy, so people get away from it. Claressa sometimes get away from that jab, but she loves that right hand so much. But Franchon's got to keep that jab on her face and stop her from landing that big one too.
Now she's got Buddy McGirt in the corner. Nobody talks about the jab more than Buddy McGirt.
The last 30 or 40 seconds is in microcosm of what Franchon should be doing. She needs to bring it down to single shots back and forth, use her body to be physical, so Claressa cannot let those combinations go. So that hand speed is really on display here.
Yeah, straight down the middle. Claressa has looping shots a lot of the time, so the way you beat looping shots is you go right down in between them. That's how they're going to get there a lot faster. Franchon's got to keep that jab straight down the pipe and time that right hand right down the middle.
Oh, good overhand chopping right from Franchon Crews. And it came off that jab.
The final right hand for Crews-Dezurn as well. Nice. Yeah, Franchon's got to try to avoid those kind of spurts. Those are the kind of things that can rack up points, change the punch stats, really put her behind the 8 ball. She's got to stick that jab and keep this fight on the outside.
And make it ugly on the inside.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be in exchange.
Yeah, I will say, Michaela, if we're looking for signs of hope for Franchon here, there's only a handful of opponents that Shields has had who have even been able to make adjustments at all. And we did see Crews-Dezurn make some of them in that second round.
Yeah, we are seeing her make adjustments, and we're seeing her keep up the work rate. You know, she's not necessarily matching the punch count that Claressa has, but she's doing better than a lot of Clarissa's opponents, and she's still game, she's still coming forward. Hey, push Claressa Shields against the ropes. Anyone, I would say push your opponent against the ropes. You know, it's not good when your attack is on the ropes, and it looks good when you're the one pushing them against it. And Claressa does so well against the ropes. Franchon tends to fall in and get countered, so I'd like to see her keep it in the center of the ring and just keep the combination simple.
Chris Bennett, how is this looking for you so far? How do you have to score? I had it 1-1. Just have to get hit Franchon Crews-Dezurn that last round in the base of maybe a minute or so. Sticking that jab, landing some decent right hands. 1-1 so far, but a good round I'm looking at here in the third by Claressa. Shields is getting that right hand free, you know, and a chopping right hand there on the inside, with a hard body shot in that sequence as well.
Good counter 1-2 from Franchon.
Yeah, gets ground and then lands a good counter as a result.
All of Franchon's success comes off the jab first. The lead jab has been setting up the right hand that she lands.
Yep, start with the jab and finish with the jab.
Yeah, when she lunges in with the overhand shot, Claressa sees it coming, and they get tangled up.
These exchanges, Claressa Shields has shown some real heavyweight power. 2 fights earlier, she knocked down Daniel Perkins in the last round of that fight, so she got some pop with these heavyweights. Crews-Dezurn might have felt some of those shots, those machine gun combinations off the ropes, the same ones that knocked out Vanessa Lepage-Joannis. Crews-Dezurn stands.
Felt it slipping away, really poured it on at the end of the round, even while fighting off the ropes, landing the cleaner, sharper punches, and putting a big right hand over the top right at the end of the round. And she is sitting down on these hooks. She's a much better puncher at heavyweight.
I was just going to say that I think she really found her power moving up in weight. I think that last 30 seconds in that round, Franchon definitely felt some of those shots.
You see Franchon's face starting to show the wear of those heavyweight punches. This is the kind of pace I think that Claressa Shields can fight at in 10 rounds. I'm not convinced yet that Franchon Crews-Dezurn can. Pay attention to Claressa between rounds. She really focused on her breathing, getting her heart rate back down so go out and perform at this high level once again, each and every time. Oh, good right hand counter from the outside there by Shields.
Well, Chris, going back to your point about Shields' power at heavyweight, one thing she pointed out in fire meetings as well, this is the first time she's had 2 healthy shoulders in several fights.
I mean, the way that she's letting these hooks go off both hands, I wouldn't be surprised.
We watched totals in 3 rounds. Both women throwing bombs here.
Shields already over 100 power punches thrown.
Yeah, Chris, to your point, the pace seems to be wearing much more on Crews-Dezurn than it is Shields. Yeah, it seemed like in the first 2 rounds, she kind of unloaded her arsenal. Now, a little bit less of the output. Whereas Claressa, that output's still there.
3-4 punch combination there from Shields. Back comes Dezurn with a short little right hand as well.
That right hand hook from Dezurn, that's exactly what she needs to continue to throw. And meet Claressa Shields as she's coming in. Catch her in between her shots. Claressa's getting confident with that right hand. We always see there's a point in one of Claressa Shields' fights, that turning point, where she really starts to feel that right hand and she starts to go for it. That's when Franchon is going to be successful with continuing the jab right down the center. Jab, double jab, then finish with the right hand and hook.
7 great fights all in one night. Moses Atama, Jermaine Franklin headline a massive night of boxing from Manchester, England. Can Atama be the first to stop Franklin? Or can the American derail Atama's meteoric rise? You can tune in Saturday, March 28th. We'll find out here on DAZN.
Here we see Claressa Shields really getting her rhythm going in that last round, letting those hands fly with bad intentions. And if you notice, Franchon Crews-Dezurn on that right knee area, looks like she got some kineso tape rapidly. She took a bit of a fall at the weigh-in on Saturday. Maybe some minor injury there, but she's getting a break in this fight.
And we were told that Crews-Dezurn visited with the doctor this morning to look at her ankle and knee.
Oh, good
Nice
overhand
right
right.
there from Shields. Back comes Crews-Dezurn.
They're both throwing their head off the line and they're throwing that right hand.
Oh, beautiful body shot there. That slip and rip that Claressa does. She slips outside the right hand and takes that left hook to the liver. Thing of beauty. Yeah, to your point, they're both technically sound. Very, very sharp. Great hand position. Getting their head off line, like you said. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Shields. I can tell the body language Crews-Dezurn really has changed over the last round and a half.
Yeah, Franchon has a tendency when she gets in, she kind of smothers her punches and ties up instead of dropping her knees and digging down to the body. She would have a lot more success. She let her combinations go to the head and then started to roll and dig to the body, but instead she's there for Clarissa's counter. And it's hard to get away with it. Franchon throws 3 punches and Claressa Shields comes back with 8 or 9.
If indeed Crews-Dezurn is working with a draining battery here, man, these body shots that Shields is focusing on here in the 5th, they're not helping them.
Yeah, I love that little slip, that hook to the body. She's done that 3 times this round.
Big right hand coming from Claressa. That was the 3rd one in a row. That one lands between us.
And another
Again.
one right over the top. As the seconds tick away here in the 5th, the momentum swinging heavily in favor of the Woke.
Shields. And we're back to action here in the 6th round. You hear the drums in between rounds. Guys, this really is a special atmosphere here, too. And there's something to be said about that Shields home field advantage in Detroit. It sounds different. There's a vibe here in this arena that is different from most fighters in boxing today, as Shields piling up the jabs. Chris Mannix, how do you have the score so far? Yeah, I've got Claressa Shields firmly in control now, 49-46. Thought the first 2 rounds were competitive. A lot of back and forth those first 2 rounds. Both fighters winning punches, but the gas tank of Claressa Shields is just far superior right now. She seems fresh. Her combinations are sharp, and it just feels like there's a different look on the face of Franchon Crews-Dezurn over these last 2 rounds. So 49-46 on my scorecard.
The more that Franchon has gotten away from the jab, the more we're seeing Claressa Shields walking her down, coming in the front door, and unloading the combinations off great balance.
And a good jab. I expect her to come out this round because Shields and start looking up at that right hand because I know she's getting confident with it. But she started off really good jab, staying behind the jab.
That was
Again, another great jab.
Saw the CompuBox totals a moment ago. Another big right hand there from Shields. Shields at that point outlanded Crews-Dezurn 112-62. And those numbers are climbing right now as Shields is putting it all together here in the 6th.
Gotta think that the referee and the corner is looking very closely at Crews-Dezurn here. She's getting hit with a lot of leather.
A lot of it is the foot balance too. You see Claressa, she's able to throw 5, 6, 7, 8 punches with her feet stay underneath her.
She never breaks position.
She doesn't, and more so than I've ever seen her actually. Her feet are really impressive in this fight. Franchon tends to throw a few punches but then fall in with it and she can't counter or come back.
Advanced zone, 90% of which is in favor of Claressa Shields right now. I like to beat the 10%. They, DMV area. Who's voting for that? That's a good guess. Round 7 underway of this undisputed heavyweight world title fight. The champion, Claressa Shields, taking on the unified super middleweight champion, Franchon Crews-Dezurn. And the growth, as tends to happen in her fights, is starting to pull away in a big way.
Crews-Dezurn's game is the combat. He's coming out, trying to establish that jab once again.
Yeah, to that point, I think Crews-Dezurn has gotten a reputation of being a sloppy fighter, but I think that this fight shows she's made a lot of adjustments on that end. She's landing cleaner shots, a lot more technically sound. I don't see her falling in as much as she used to. But one thing I really would like, or I think would help her nullify Claressa Shields' attacks is turning. You don't want to stand right in front of someone like Claressa Shields because she'll unleash again her 8 or 9, 10 punches. So Franchon Crews-Dezurn should be turning, should be staying on an angle, punching, rolling out, not standing right in front of her to be hit.
Well, and Caleb, we talked about this before, the familiarity between these two, right? And you pointed out, Franchon every once in a while could do something to break Claressa's momentum. But the question is, does she have the energy left to do that consistently down the stretch?
Yeah, I said this is going to be had to be a very disciplined fight for Franchon Crews to win. You know, she'll have to stay disciplined for the entire 10 rounds. And stick to the game plan.
Between the pace and the body work by Shields, you just see the energy level of Crews-Dezurn going down and down each round. Good body shot again. Really tricky shot there. That left hook to deliver. Nice shot there by Franchon. Lands a left hook upstairs.
Heavy hitting Diva still sneaking a shot in.
That's what I mean by being engaged. She's still punching with Claressa even though she can't keep up with the hand speed.
Not that they needed any encouragement here, but Claressa Shields firing the crowd up even more as round 8 begins. Hispanics, how do you have this one scored so far?
Yeah, 69-64. Pretty easy fight to score over these last 5 rounds. Just too much activity, too much accuracy from Claressa Shields. I think Franchon's crying out there. She's still landing some decent shots in between these punches, but we're looking at like a 4 or 5 to 1 accuracy gap right now for Claressa Shields. 69-64.
And Michaela Shields starting to really double up on that left hook as well, go from body to head.
I was just going to say, we know she has a big right hand, and usually when you're coming up with a game plan for a fighter, you say, but we're the strongest. You move away from that power shot. The person is throwing power shots from both hands right now. She's flipping, going 5 to the head with her left hook, and she's letting that big right hand over the top. And it's confusing Franchon on which way to go. But standing right in front isn't any better. You got to pick a side and stay on the angles and keep turning.
To your point, Michaela, this is the most complete version of Claressa Shields that I've ever seen when it comes to the jab, the left hand, the right hand, and the positioning. The positioning game that she's playing has been excellent at.
Sitting down the punches, you can see the influence of a John David Jackson on Claressa Shields. John David Jackson preaches power punches. We had a fighter like Sergey Kovalev. It's taking some time, but Claressa's really developing some real confident shots.
Claressa just switched to a lefty stance, so that overhand left.
Super bad-esque.
I caught it right.
Body shot again there from Shields. Shoe shine to the body, climbs the ladder up top.
Whenever she hears that 10-second marker, she fires a combination.
Big right hand over the top. Saw some blood coming from the mouth of Crews-Dezurn as we head back to the stools. A British classic in the making. Fabio Wardley makes the first defense of his WBO heavyweight title against former IBF champion Daniel Dubois. Get ready for an epic night under the lights in Manchester. You can see it all live and exclusive here on DAZN Saturday, May 9th.
Good overhand right from Crews-Dezurn, but right back does Shields come firing. And then another good left by Franchon. There's a nice counter there. See, when she's able to make a little bit of distance, she gets on that jab, that's where she has the most success. Does Crews-Dezurn.
Two to go here in our main event. Jab, the opening seconds of the round, and Michaela, realistically, we're probably at a point for Crews-Dezurn where she needs either a brain of knockdowns or a knockout. Do you see anything that maybe she could be doing to create an opening for something like that?
Well, yeah, at this point, whether you either got to get a knockout or you probably don't win the fight, but you still have to adjust. And right now, standing in front of Claressa Shields is the way to go. I think Franchon had a little bit of success in the first round or two when she was pushing Claressa Shields back. So Claressa Shields best so she can come forward and time you. Push her back, make it rough. Either that or get on your toes and box and move. But I just don't think standing in front of her, you're not gonna match her that way.
Great shoulder movement, upper body rhythm shown by Shields. Consistently slipping and ripping and firing off these shots, getting back to that jab. When she's on that jab, she's really difficult to deal with.
Well, and Chris, we're seeing a pattern here too, right? Even as Crews-Dezurn is trying to apply pressure coming behind her jab, Shields is able to throw second and third. So she can counter and then come right back. And
World picture on the end of the center of the ring, round 10.
10th and the final round of 10 years later. Claressa Shields, much like she did in 2016, dominant here tonight against Franchon Crews-Dezurn. Chris Mannix, I have an idea of how you have it scored. How do you have it scored?
Yeah, 89-82. Claressa Shields just been a deep job over these last 6 rounds.
Dominant. Claressa's accuracy has been on point. Franchon just has not been able to find an answer to that hand speed and that activity. 89-82, going to take something special in this last minute. Franchon Crews-Dezurn to win this fight.
Had a good opening minute in this last round, has Franchon. Give it back. Shields against the rope. Use her upper body to physically pin her down. And let body shots rip on both sides.
Yeah, she starts the fight off like this in the first round. I think that's probably what she should have kept up throughout the mid-round. But then again, because she leaned in, because she put her weight forward, she really can't get the leverage on the shot.
Yeah, she's not generating a lot of power there on the inside.
Up there from Shields. Right back down to the body. Shields saying, come on, let's go for it in the closing 40 seconds. Oh, big right hand over the top of Shields. Just clubbing away on Crews-Dezurn.
Franchon's tough to stay calm.
Yeah, you know Claressa Shields didn't look for that big right hand. I know she wanted to finish this night with a knockout. But Crews-Dezurn is definitely one of the toughest shows.
Their stories are forever intertwined, and they've given us a memorable final chapter.
Hey, yo, Franchon stood in there, though. I really thought she was going to get knocked out. She did not get knocked out, though. She was close. I was scared for her. She came out with all her energy because all that tension between them two and all that beef, but I'm proud to see that she actually stood. And she's 38 years old, dog. 39. Claressa, I think, is 30. Franchon is almost 40 years old, bro. If they don't hug it out. That's because they was really friends in real life. They was really friends in real life.
Friends again, perhaps. Michaela, this is nice to see.
That's what's up.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see. And I knew I would see that.
She didn't get knocked out, though.
Lay it all
She
on
stood her
the line
ground,
out there
period.
and do what you gotta do. You're gonna embrace each other and have a little bit of respect.
I'm proud of her.
But some things that were said in this build-up, I don't think can ever be taken
Might
back.
not be able to take them back.
They will be
Right.
remembered.
Thank you to everybody that
Good to see
subscribed
them
to my
embrace
channel.
nonetheless.
I appreciate y'all. And every like.
Whether they're ever
I
friends
appreciate
again,
y'all. Every
they came together to make a really good fight.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks,
And I
y'all.
don't
Thanks,
know
y'all.
how
God bless y'all, and I love y'all.
out. They can never get back to where it was, but again, they did what they had to do for the sport, for women's boxing, for the fans.
Well, if you enjoyed that one, how about this all-Mexican duel in the desert? Emmanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Sugar Nunez with their super featherweight titles on the line at the Desert Diamond Arena in Arizona. That's all the action next Saturday, live on the Zone. Chris Algieri, I know you're not going to be missing that one. Claressa Nunez.
I don't miss any fight. Especially that one. 2 Mexicans, I'm in.
Gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. The judges are in agreement with a unanimous decision. All 3 judges scored about the same, 100 to 90. All 3 in favor of the winner. And still, the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the greatest woman of all time.